My boyfriend told me he has sorta lost feelings and he is exhausted. Can we recover from this? My ex-boyfriend and I have been officially dating for almost 2 months now. It's very fresh, I know. I haven't been in a serious relationship with anyone for a little over a year and I finally felt ready to get out there again. The thing is though, I'm really emotional and sensitive and I'm diagnosed with depression and anxiety. My ex-boyfriend, I'm unsure if he has been medically diagnosed, but he does deal with depression and anxiety as well. He leans more avoidant attachment and I lean more anxious attachment. He is the opposite, he isn't very emotional or sensitive even. Our intimate life was just fine up until we became too reckless and I got pregnant, which I then aborted recently about a week ago. Things had already been going downhill before that. Our relationship typically is like barely texting when we aren't together. We've grown accustomed to never calling or FaceTiming each other because every time I have tried to call him he has picked up only once or twice. And he stopped calling me because he felt like he was initiating too much. We talked about this and he said he was trying to be on his phone more or be more attentive, but nothing changed. I question my worth and I feel less than a priority to him when we aren't together. Otherwise we see each other about once or twice a week and I typically sleep over, which I don't have issues with. It was just feeling like I didn't exist the second I went home. I've asked him to show me affection in multiple ways and compliment me more and he said he would do better but didn't, or if he did it would last a day or two. I also used to plan every single date we went on, otherwise we would stay in at his place, and be intimate, which also made me question my worth and begin to wonder if he only just lusted after me. A lot of his actions or shows of affection began to feel like it was driven by lust and not genuine care or feelings. I communicated over and over again about my feelings and what was bothering me and asked what we can do to fix us and help our situation. He keeps promising things will get better but they don't, and I hate feeling like I'm bringing up problems all the time and that I'm exhausting or too much. We talked again last night, to which all he had to say was he doesn't know and then proceeded to say, "I'm wrong, you're right, we'll keep it moving and it'll be okay." I felt awful reading that and got upset with how he kinda shut me down. Later he said that ideally he would also like to get through this rough patch, but he is at a point where he has sorta lost feelings and just feels really exhausted by every little thing and it's not fair to either of us. He then said he thinks we need a break. I've never had any luck with breaks in the past, so I felt a little triggered and ended up just saying it was fine and he didn't have to force himself and that we can trade our stuff tomorrow. Breaking up is the last thing I want to do, and I know I probably sound so stupid, but I just really want things to get better between us. We used to be so good and I don't want things to just go down the drain like that. He said okay, and I felt the immediate regret and tried backtracking to asking if he thinks a break will help us. He hasn't answered yet and I'm anxious. We both have been dealing with a lot lately, emotional, financial struggles, etc. I just don't know what to do. I just really want to keep trying, but I don't want to force him. I feel exhausted too, I feel numb too, and I also probably sorta lost feelings too. But I know I still care and I know I still want to try. Comment. With all respect, you guys have been together for 2 months only. That's 8 weeks. If BF is already saying he is exhausted and need a break, then maybe you guys aren't right for one another. It sounds like both of you have deeper issues that need to be addressed before you go for a relationship at all. I would honestly advise you to at a minimum go on a break, and look at your own issues. I'd probably push you to break up, and give yourself the space to address your personal problems. Same with him. It's not normal in a relationship to barely interact with one another. It sounds like you're both a relationship only in name. Discuss things with him, and expect both the worst and best from the situation. Be prepared as best as you can. I'm sure things will be okay, and I'm sorry all that happened. Mind if I ask, has he been trying to communicate at all? Also, I hope for the best for the both of you, TMRW. Next story 2. How do I approach my BF that I'm upset because I feel like he treated his ex better than me? For context, my boyfriend and I have been seeing each other since November 2022 and have been dating since May 2023. We dated 5+ years ago but broke up because we were too immature and dealt with emotional toxicity. A big issue during that time was me feeling like I was a side piece despite us dating. He would rarely acknowledge our relationship and I felt hidden from his life. During our time apart he had a relationship with another girl and from time to time I would look at their social medias to see how that relationship was going. He looked really happy with her and they often referenced being the one to each other and being sappy with appreciative gestures, gifts, and plenty of sweet words. They posted a lot of pictures together, special dinners, family events and hangouts, national GF/BF day posts and anniversary posts. I also saw that they would stay overnight at each other's houses. He lives with family and it looked like she had her own place and also stayed with family. I was happy he could finally open up to someone in that way but was always a little sad that it wasn't me. Long story short, they broke up because of abuse in that relationship, he says on her part, and a few years later we rekindled things, which brings us to now. I have been feeling distant lately and decided to review those old social media posts of that relationship and felt really hurt at how he treated her, and he doesn't do any of that stuff with me despite us talking about it at the beginning of seeing each other and clarifying that I need that closeness. He barely does anything with me that he would do with her. Some things are better than before, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel special in his life. I mean, I had to plan and pay for our Valentine's and 6-month anniversary where I also asked him to be my boyfriend because it didn't look like he was going to do any of it. I haven't even seen his bedroom. But he was willingly let the ex sleep over before their 6-month time stamp. He won't stay the night at my house despite being over at least twice a week to watch shows and be intimate. He says that he loves me and that he always has, that I was always the one he thought about and was the one that got away, but he doesn't seem to show that any of that is true. I just don't know how to feel or how to bring up that I'm hurt without seeming ungrateful for the progress we have made and without feeling like I'm trying to copy how they were. I just can't help but feel like something is wrong with me, especially when I had some of these feelings the first time we dated. I tried to shorten this as much as possible. I'd be thankful for any advice or suggestions. Comment. I cannot stress this enough, social media is not real. It is not real life. It's a projection of what people want you to see. There have been studies done that show that the couples who post the most pictures together are more likely to be unhappy in their relationships. And this is exactly what has happened. You know firsthand how bad their relationship is. So everything on the surface level is a lie. There is a reason why your relationship is evolving at the rate it is now. Perhaps your boyfriend is learning from what went wrong the first time and is trying to slow the pace. If things didn't work out with his ex, why should he try the same formulaic approach with you? It makes no sense. Again, their social media relationship was a lie. It was not real, and if you continually compare your current relationship to that of a one that just looked good on paper, you'll never be happy. My advice is to stop stalking people on social media and comparing that to your life. Even better advice would be to get off social media altogether. Sounds like someone still has the same problems. There are those out there that think if you never resolve the initial problems in a relationship, the same fate will happen. The 2nd/3rd/4th/5th/15th/90th time you get back together. Don't compare your relationship to his last one. It's not related. You should tell him what you need from him and he should tell you what he's comfortable doing, and the two of you decide if it works. Based on your description, he probably tried being that BF you saw on social media. His GF turned out to be abusive and he doesn't want to go down that road anymore. Over time, people change and it's unrealistic for you to expect him to do everything for you that he did for his ex, especially considering how that relationship turned out. Have a heart-to-heart and see if you two can work your way to common ground and figure out what you're both willing to put into the relationship. Once that's done, decide if it works for you. I am gonna talk without know your BF's personality, but this sentence resonated a little. Maybe he did all those things because she forced him to. I am in a relationship too and used to have similar thoughts. My BF used to upload lot of pictures with his ex, but since we've been together 1 year, he never once uploaded something with me unless it was a reposted picture that I uploaded first. Eventually I asked him about it. He said his ex wanted him to do it, kind of forced him. I don't know if that's true or if he liked her more than he likes me or if he changed during that time. I don't think much of it now, as I was just like that. I used to post lots of pictures with lovey descriptions in my previous relationship, but I don't do it now because I don't think it means I love them more or less. Anyway, talk to your BF and tell him it's something you really like and appreciate. Communication is key.